Hi everyone, I am Teresa Ann and I'm the host of Let's Talk with Teresa Ann. And on today's show, we're going to talk about those moments that you want to press forward and maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe those are the moments that we are to rest in the Lord in such a unique way. Now, here's what we're going to talk about today with a special guest that I have in my studio, Heather Blü. She is with heatherblü.com, and there is no E at the end of blue. And she talks about that experience within her own life. So make sure you understand that some of us are in different seasons. So this word may not be for you specifically in this moment, but let it encourage you as you hear what God has shown her in her life. So that is what's coming up next on Let's Talk with Teresa Ann. Here is a little snippet on Heather Blü. She is an incredible, creative human being. She is unique in her own right. And when you see what she has done with illustrations to the illustrations she's done with cards and even books, you would be just in awe that she is not well known right now. But she's so well known to the Father. And that's one thing that she expresses so often just within her life. She has such a prophetic gift, but more than anything, she knows more than the gift that she is a daughter of the Most High God. And so I'm so excited to introduce you to Heather Blü. Heather Blü, I am so glad that you are here in my studio. Let's Talk with Teresa Ann. We have been wanting to do this
Forever.
For a couple of years, actually.
Yes.
So with that said, I am so excited. We have actually been talking and I really wanted you to be a part of our conversation. So make sure you grab your cup of coffee or hot tea and let's just have this beautiful conversation that we were just having earlier. We're coming into this new year, Blü. And as we come into this new year, there are goals that we've set. Some of us have already probably quote unquote failed.
Yeah.
And as we were discussing that, sometimes, especially as creative people, we feel like if we've hit that roadblock or that writer's block or, will you kind of convey what we were talking about earlier on that?
So,
how first there's no such thing.
Yeah, I feel that God really, I guess it was probably 2 years ago that I was in the middle of what so many people call a creative slump, where every time I would sit down to draw or illustrate or paint or, anything creative, just nothing would flow out of me. And normally it just it flows, there's never a problem with that. And I've experienced this, different times, but that time just seemed like it was intense. And I felt, I saw a picture of a butterfly as I was asking God, okay, God, why am I not getting anything? I keep asking you, please give me something. What do you want me to draw? And I saw, well, not a butterfly, but of a cocoon. And I heard him say something to the effect of, if you break out of your cocoon too soon, you won't have all of the skills that you need to be the butterfly. So if you want to transform from what you've been, even though that caterpillar had its purpose and was doing really good, it had a life too.
Yes.
It didn't have the skills to be the butterfly, and that was, the butterfly is still what He created me to be, that caterpillar, but also that butterfly. And we have to keep progressing and be transformed. And so he was just showing me that we need to cocoon, allow him to transfer those skills that we need for the next part of our lives. I just felt like such a peace about just waiting and not pushing it when I feel like nothing would come, that it's okay to rest. He'll give us the skills. He'll set the right people in our path to help us in that area. But I feel like if we're always striving to go forward, and never just resting in what he's doing in us in the immediate now, that we will miss it and we will never fully get the skills that he's trying to download into us now. As an illustrator, I'm always asking God, transform the way I draw. Let it speak to people. Let it be more than just a flower. I want that to have a deeper meaning. And I want when somebody sees that, they see you, or they see the message that you want them to see. So I'm always saying, okay, but I need to be now. I need to have a now look, as well as classic. So I'm always saying, okay, help me with my skills. Download this. I don't have time to take classes with the 6 kiddos at the moment.
Yeah.
Someday I will. But I've said, okay, God, since I can't take classes right now, then you're going to have to download this. You show me. So he'll lead me to different artists to look at, and I'll study it and I'll just look at it and I'll start drawing it. But if I've gotten it, okay, I get it, God. I know what you're trying to show me. This is how you want me to change this. You want my edges more rounded or whatever it is.
Right.
So I'll start doing that, but it's not fully downloaded. Like I haven't let it sit in there long enough for it to become me.
That's good.
And I'll rush ahead, and a few times I've put artwork out, had it for sale. I've had it in shops along with
And your
my
stuff is
other
amazing.
stuff.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I'm going to have there's going to be a website that is going to be in the description box. So make sure you go check it out because it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I feel like that if I haven't let that fully sit in me, if I haven't looked at what he's showing me enough, because that's in the moment, that's how he downloads. He'll lead me to some other art, say on Instagram or Pinterest, and it's like in a style, and he'll like lead me to a few artists, and it's like this, or change this part, look at how they did this. And then he'll show me like how to meld it to my style. And so I'll just start kind of sketching and trying things out, and pretty soon, if I have let that happen long enough, if I've looked long enough at what he's saying, it melds so well with my own art that it's my style. It's nobody else's.
Absolutely. It's uniquely you.
And it can pour out of me.
Right.
But if I don't, it's like the start and stop. We kind of have an idea of like what he's wanting to do and what that new thing is a lot of times. I think that's where those goals start. Like that desire he puts in us. But if we get ahead of ourselves or ahead of God, then we can lose out on the skills he's trying to download, and we might still get to that place he's calling us to, but it's more like pulling teeth instead of this whoosh, this wind behind you.
Exactly.
And I want that wind. I don't want to strive.
Grace. That's right.
I want to get to those points, but I don't want to take either longer, or I don't want it to be hard when it could have been with an ease.
Effortless ease.
Yeah.
If you were a book, what would the title be and why?
Can I have multiple titles?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me think here.
Let's say you'll be a series.
It'll be a series of books, yes. When Chaos Comes to Visit, She's Gone Off the Deep End, or Hold Your Horses, I Can Only Pour Apple Juice So Fast.
That is so funny. And then what would be your creative flip to each one?
So every single one of them would be this constant coming back to, but God.
Yes.
But God.
But God.
It's every one of those is how I think I feel it rotates all throughout the day, as I feel like those book titles all throughout the day, but it's this constant deep abiding joy that I rarely get knocked off of anymore.
Right.
And I'm so excited about that, because I feel like that's one of those, not really goals, but finally.
Yes, like this growth.
Yes.
In him.
Thank you, God, because it did used to be a really big struggle, and just anything could knock me off, and it would take so long, and I feel like I would have to backtrack and start there again. But now it's like, oh, knocked off, okay, get right back up on.
Let's get
That's okay.
Get going.
And the deep abiding joy is just like, I can look at those situations and just go, well, that was interesting.
And we all survived.
We're okay.
We're all thriving.
Not that I don't have those flip out, freak out moments, but they're getting less and less.
That's so good.
I did used to be a terror.
Oh, wow. I can't even see that. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. It was bad.
Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you. I'm right there with you, and I don't have 6 kids. So, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on my show today. There's so much more, obviously, that we can talk about later. But I also want to share with the audience that with all of the listeners and viewers, Heather Blü and I are working on a little project for my grandson. We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't even really have expectations right now. Our expectations are placed on the Lord in this whole season.
Yes.
And that's what we're excited about. I'm really looking forward to this little project here. And that's really why we came together tonight, was to actually talk about that. So y'all, thank you so much for joining us with my special interview with my friend, Heather Blü. Make sure you go check her out on the website that is on the description box below. Remember, this show is all about bold inspiration, revealing God's goodness. Thank you again for joining us on Let's Talk with Teresa Ann. Thank you also for liking, sharing, and subscribing to both our YouTube and podcast channels.